Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tat Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Vandeham Shri Guru Varam Shri Rupanuga Pravaram Rajasvasikam Sharanarayanam Tam Prapadam Shri Guru Charanam Vande Gamana Visthaya Bhutale Rupanuga Bhaktivam Chakripamurti Narayana. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Bhava Shri Sadigaur Bhaktivedanta. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. First of all, I offer my respectful obeisances at the lotus feet of our spiritual masters, Nitlai Shiva Bhaktivedanta Shri Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Shri Gurudev, Nitlai Shiva Bhaktivedanta Shri Vam Goswami Maharaj, Shri Gurudev, to entire Upanakari Guru Varga, to our guardians, to all the Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, and everyone else present today, and to also Sri Jayadeva Goswami, who is most auspicious Tirubhav Tithi that we are observing today. So over the years, we've heard many wonderful glories of Sri Jayadeva Goswami by the Vaishnavas. Previously, we've heard that even mundane people were so much inspired by his birthplace. His birthplace is Kendra Bilu. Kendra Bilu. Kendra Bilu. Kendra Bilu. His birthplace is Kendra Bilu. Kendu Bilu. Kendu Bilu. Kendu Billa. So his birthplace Kendu. In Bengal or Odisha? Bengal. So he was born in Bengal, Kendu Billa. But sometimes some people have doubt. They say he was born in Odisha or Bengal. So we just heard now the Vaishnavas that there are many different persons who have the same Jayadev. So therefore we must try to reconcile. That even in Odisha there must have been some personality who is called Jayadeva Goswami. And in Bengal, as we hear, that his birthplace is right near Lakshman Sen's kingdom, near this Ballal Digi, where ISKCON is presently now. That place is, the nearby place is Jayadev Part, where Jayadeva Goswami, he would speak Harikatha there, do all his kirtans. And Lakshman Sen, he would come there to visit him. But Jayadeva Goswami, he didn't want to see the king, like how Mahaprabhu did not want to see Pratapruva. So then he wanted to leave. But then Lakshman Sen, he gave him this place, where in Champati. There he said, you can stay here. The Champati is a very beautiful place. So here, that is the place where Champakalata Sakhi, she picks flowers, makes garlands, and all the services for Radha and Krishna. Because we know, Mayapur is called Radhavan, Radhatami. Radharani herself, we heard from the Vaishnavas that Brajmandal is actually a place of Panchayati Ras. All the rasas are present in Brajmandal. Therefore, Srimati Radhika, she desired that one special place be only reserved for Madhuri Ras. Therefore, from her heart, Navadip Dham manifested. These 9 islands, which means each island is like one Sakhi. And Srimati Radhika herself, her island is this Antardeep Mayapur. So then we hear that this Champakata, this Champahati, this place is the place of Champakalata Sakhi, where she would pick flowers. So one may say that, how is that possible? If Champakalata Sakhi is in Vrindavan, how can she go to Champa, this place, Champakati, and pick flowers there? So it's that Shvetadweep and Navadweep and Vrindavan are not different. Navadweep is Gupta Vrindavan, or you can say Vrindavan is Gupta Navadweep. All the 9 islands of Navadweep, they are actually 12 forests of Braj. So here there is no difference between them, no difference. Therefore, one must not think that how is that she is going back and forth between Brajmandal and Navadweep. Because they're not different from each other. So there we hear that Jayadeva Goswami, he was staying there in this place, Champakata. And so there we hear that this famous Leela took place there, where he wrote this verse. He was about to write this verse, but he was thinking, how can I write this verse? This Maragarala Kandanam, Mamasira Simandanam, Dehi Padapallavam. How can I write this? He was thinking. Like, I can say that Srimati Radhika is a beloved devotee of Krishna, but how can I say that Krishna is offering his head at the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika? How can I do this? He was having second doubts. So then he went to have a bath in the Ganga. And then what happened? Krishna himself appeared in the form of Jayadeva Goswami. And निष्किंचन महाराज ने कहा है वो कहते जयदेव गोस्वामी जन्मस्थली वही गई है उड़ीसा में मैं गया था So we just heard now that we must not think that any pure devotee belongs to one particular province, saying that he is born here and there, and he is only limited there. Bhagavan and his devotee is there for everyone. They are not necessarily only restricted to one particular place, to one particular set of people, but for everyone. And also we see that Jayadeva Goswami is having a Mahatma Ganga, and in Odisha you do not see Ganga. There are other rivers there, like the Suvarna Nadi and all these other rivers. But so therefore we should try to reconcile that there must have been another personality whose name was also Jayadeva. So this way we hear that Jayadeva Goswami when he went to bathe in the Ganga there, then Krishna himself appeared as Jayadeva Goswami, and he himself wrote this verse. Smaragara Lakandanam Mama Sirasi Mandanam Dehi Padapallavam Dharam. Means Krishna is praying at Lotus Feet of Srimati Radhika. This poison is disturbing me so much, this Garava and this Mara also. So therefore, please place your lotus feet on my head and relieve me of this poison. So Krishna himself wrote this and he went away. So then when Jayadeva Goswami returned, then he saw Padmavati Devi taking Mahamsa. So then normally she'd wait for him, and after he had taken, she'd take his remnants, but now she was already taking. So then he said, oh, he was a little surprised. And then she said, oh, he went out so quickly and returned again. And then he said, what are you saying? Just went to bathe in the Ganga. Then who came here? She said. Then Jayadeva Goswami thought, who is he? I never came anywhere. Then they realized it was Krishna himself. So then Jayadeva Goswami, he said, oh, I'm so unfortunate. You had the darshan of Krishna, but not me. And there he went and he saw that this verse had been written there. And then when Jayadeva Goswami, he started weeping so much. So here the question arises that Madhavendra Puri, he is credited with bringing this sprout of Madhuri Bhav, this Madhuri Prem. But we see that Jayadeva Goswami has already written this shloka also. Therefore we can say that even Jayadeva Goswami brought this Unnatojjala Ras to this world. Why only Madhavendra Puri? Because Madhavendra Puri was the one who recited that slok, no? Is Ai Dina Dayatanata He Maturanata Kada Lokshase Hidayatata Kakataram Daita Kim Karomyam. So here Madhavendra Puri is uttering this verse that Srimati Radhika herself said. So why is like he said to be the sprout of this love of God, Krishna Prem? Why not Jayadeva Goswami? Because he's already written this verse. So there it is said that Jayadeva Goswami actually he had this conception that Srimati Radhika is like the Sevika of Krishna. She is like his maid servant. So therefore this bhav is like Golokiya bhav. This bhav. This is not exactly Gokul bhav. This is like Golokiya. Radha and Krishna are married to each other. So therefore this Unnatoshala Parakeva was like initially bought by Madhavendra Puri himself. Before even Chandidas, Vidyapati, they also had sung many kirtans. But why is Madhavendra Puri credited with this? Because he bought this sprout when he uttered this famous verse. And then from that seed itself, this trunk, this tree came, Mahaprabhu and all his associates. So therefore here we see that Jayadeva Goswami, then he was weeping so much in separation. And then it is said that he received one Akashvani, an aerial voice, which said, now you must go to Jagannath Puri. So then he was thinking, how can I leave Navadvip and go to Jagannath Puri? He was thinking. Because Navadvip is like not different from Vrindavan. So then it said Mahaprabhu himself came and gave him darshan. And he told him that you go and you stay in Jagannath Puri, and then when you write this Gita Govind, I myself will listen to this with so much attention, so much love. I myself will listen to your composition. So you go stay there in Jagannath Puri. And you will also appear in my pastimes. Mahaprabhu assured him. So this is Jayadeva Goswami, he went to Jagannath Puri. And there we know, like how he wrote such beautiful kirtans that Jagannath himself, when he would listen, he would go running, and then his cloth itself would get torn into pieces. Then when he'd come back, the pujari would say that, oh, what happened? Jagannath heard this Devadasi singing, so therefore his cloth was torn, and then there were bruises all over his body. So then the king, he announced that no one should sing this Gita Govind outside the temple, only inside the temple, because then Jagannath will run away from the altar again. And you see Mahaprabhu himself, when this Devadasi was singing, Mahaprabhu himself wanted to embrace her. And anyhow, Govinda Prabhu, he running behind Mahaprabhu, he shouted loudly. And then Mahaprabhu, he stopped. And then he embraced Govinda. For two reasons. One reason we know that Mahaprabhu said, oh, I'm a sannyasi, if I go embrace that lady, then I have to jump into the ocean. But the second reason is that Mahaprabhu himself, he said that he was absorbed in the mood of Krishna actually. And he was thinking that Devadasi he was singing is one of the Sakhis, like Lalita, Vishaka, or anyone. So therefore, he said, if I would have been continually absorbed in that mood of Krishna, then people would have known that I'm Krishna himself. So therefore, you have protected me in this way, Mahaprabhu told Govinda this way. So Mahaprabhu, he loved this kirtan so much. In fact, when he bought this Gita Govind, Mahaprabhu told all his devotees to make copies of this book and make one kantahar, means a necklace of all these verses and teachings. Now, even now we hear that the verses of Gita Govind are written on tulsi leaves and are written on Jagannath's cloth, and every day they're sung for him. Like even during this Chandan Yatra, Narendra Sarovar, and Jagannath goes on his Nauka Vilas, his Vijay Vigraha. There also they sing all these kirtans from Jayadeva Goswami's Gita Govind. And there we see in Gita Govind, actually first he is described as Dashavatara Stotra. Why Dashavatara Stotra? Because Jayadeva Goswami, he wanted everyone to know that this Krishna is not just some ordinary Nayak, and that Radhika is just some ordinary Nayika. He wanted everyone to realize that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead himself. Therefore he wrote this Dashavatara Stotra, showing the speciality of Krishna and all his incarnations this way. So we see that every day we sing this Shitakamala Kucha. Every day before Mangalarati we sing this kirtan. Gurudev is given, Gurudev he would even request the devotees to sing this kirtan every Janmashtami. First kirtan he request, like Krishnadas Prabhu and all the others. Because he said that this kirtan is actually glorification of Srimati Radhika herself. This Shitakamala Kucha. So glorification of Srimati Radhika herself, and Krishna is so happy to listen to this kirtan. So that when Jayadeva Goswami would sing, Krishna himself with his 2 ears, it would be raised like the ears of a cow, and he would listen. Like we say, like Shita Kamala Kucha Mandala. There we say that Krishna is taking the shelter of who? Kamala Devi. Who is this Kamala Devi? Is she Lakshmi or is she Srimati Radhika herself? Srimati Radhika is also called Kamala because she has this Leela Kamal in her hand, this pastime lotus. And how is Krishna taking shelter of her? Now it is said that when Krishna is going cowherding, the gopis, they cast, Srimati Radhika especially, she casts a sidelong glance on him. There's that famous verse from Prabhupada Saraswati. Venum karan nipatitam, skalitam shikhandam, rastam pitam chavasanam, rajaraja suno, yasya kataksha saragata vimulchitasya, tam radhika paricharana kadadasena, paricharani kadadasena. So there we see Prabhupada Saraswati himself is praying that when Srimati Radhika looks at Krishna, his pitambar falls to the ground and he starts becoming unconscious. Then Madhumangal, he tells Krishna, what are you doing? Nanda, Baba and Yashodamaya are right behind. What will they think of you? And he catches Krishna from behind. So this way he's taking shelter of Srimati Radhika. And Drita Kundalai. So what is this kundal of Krishna? What are these earrings? These earrings are actually Srimati Radhika's glories. No, he only wants to listen to the glories of Srimati Radhika. This is kundal. Like we see, what is the meaning of Ujjwal Leenamani? Rupa Goswami said this Ujjwal Leenamani is a jewel in Krishna's Makara-shaped earrings, he said. Krishna's earrings are like this Makara now. And then he said this Ujjwal Leenamani is like a gem there. Kalita Lalita Vanamala, Jaya Jayadeva Hari. So this way he has this very Lalit, very beautiful Vanmala, forest flower garland, which is made by Srimati Radhika herself. From Beri, Chameli, Jui, all these Tulsi, Manjaris, leaves. And it said there's so many bumblebees on all these flowers that are completely absorbed in chanting the names of Srimati Radhika, her glories. Srimati Radhika herself has made this garland. And this way when Krishna is embraced by this garland, he feels Srimati Radhika herself is embracing him. And then this way that it is said that garland is also like Yashomala, Srimati Radhika's Yash, her glories. This way we see he's saying Jaya Jaya Deva Hare. Why? First he's saying Jaya Jaya Deva Hare, means all glories to that personality who is the Ishtadev of Jayadeva Goswami. Then again he's saying Jaya Jaya Deva Hare, means 2 times he's emphasizing that all glories to Krishna, Jaya Jaya Deva Hare. And then here when he says Hare, he means that Krishna who steals the heart away of Srimati Radhika. But we know Hare can also mean Srimati Radhika herself. No, so in one way Jayadeva Goswami is actually offering pranams to Srimati Radhika herself when he says Jaya Jaya Deva Hare. Because she is his Ishtadevi there. And then we say the next verse is Dinamani Mandala Mandana Bhavakandana He. So here we say that Dinamani Mandala Mandana. Mandana means this ornament. And Dinamani means the sun. So ultimately it can be said that Dinmani can also mean this earth itself. And Dinmani can also mean Vrindavan. So this way it can be said that Krishna is the ornament of Vrindavan. But also, Dinamani means the sun, but where does the sun get his power from to give life to everyone? And we say, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Bharga means actually Srimati Radhika herself. Deva is Krishna. So Srimati Radhika is the one who's giving the Shakti to the sun god to give heat and life to everyone. So then we say, Dinamani Mandala Mandana. So here we say that Dinamani is actually, this Dinamani is Krishna himself. No, he is like the sun who gives life to everyone. And this Mandal, Dinamani Mandala, this Mandala can also mean Ras Mandal itself, where the Ras Leela of Radha and Krishna takes place. And Srimati Radhika, she is the ornament of this Ras Leela. No, Krishna, he is not called Raseshwar. Radhika is called Raseshwari, but Krishna is not called Raseshwar. No, Radharani is called Vrindavaneshwar. He is not here. So here we see that Bhava Kandana He. So here when we say that Bhava Kandana He means Krishna, by remembering his Namrup Gunlila, one's this material existence is finished. But actually here Bhava Kandana He means this separation that the Vrajavasis, the Vrajadevis are feeling. That Krishna he removes. He finishes that entity. That suffering, he destroys that suffering that they feel. But actually here, Bhava Kandana means that separation that Krishna himself is feeling when Srimati Radhika left the Rasa dance. No, in Gita Govind, Jayadeva Goswami himself says that when Radhika left the Rasadans, openly Krishna he followed her from behind. And when Radharani appeared again in the Raslila, then Krishna's life, it seemed Krishna, his life returned to him. Therefore, Bhava Kandana means Krishna's separation itself is pacified by Srimati Radhika's presence. And Munijana Manas Hamsa. So here, who are these Munijans? Krishna is the swan who sports in the swan-like in the ponds of his devotees' hearts. No, their hearts are like clear lakes, and Krishna is always there sporting. So here it is said these Munis are actually the Dandakaranya Rishis, the Shruticharis, Municharis, all of them, who are worshipping either in Yotaki or Ayotaki, alone or in groups. They were these Munis. And Krishna is always sporting in their hearts, like a swan. And also Munis can mean Sukadeva Goswami, who has described Srimati Radhika's glories everywhere in the Bhagavatam. And then the four Kumaras, Shiv Thakur himself, they are all Munis. And Krishna is always in their hearts. So Jaya Jayadeva Hare. And then we say Kaliya Vishwadhara, Ranjana Jana Ranjana. So when Krishna already knew, he punished Kaliya. He had so much poison. Similarly in our heart also there's so many anarthas, poison. And Krishna, he destroys those anarthas, that poison. And Jana Ranjana, he gives so much pleasure to who? To the Rajavasis. How? Now when he was punishing Kaliya, all the Rajavasis came together to see him. Kaliya Hrid is one place where you can find the foot dust of all the Rajavasis, A to Z. Everyone came to see him there. And when Krishna was dancing on the hoods of Kaliya, the gopis were looking at him. And Krishna was saying, just see how I can dance. I can dance on all the hoods of Kaliya simultaneously, without even falling down. I can dance so many different steps. This way, he's giving so much pleasure to all the Rajavasis. And Rajadevi said. And then Yadukula Nalina Dinesha. So Yadukula means not the Dwarkavasis, but the Rajavasis themselves. Nandabhava's father, we see his father is Parjanya. And Parjanya, his father is Devamida. So Devamida is actually Yaduvanshi. So therefore Krishna is that son who makes the flower of Vrindavan blossom, not the flower of Dwaraka, Yaduvansh. The flower of Braj blossom. And then we see Madhumura Naraka Vinashana Garudasane. So here we say that, Krishna did not kill these demons. Vishnu, who was within Krishna, he killed these demons. But then we see that when we speak of Janmashtami, Saptami, Shashti, Panchami, we don't say the 5th moon, 6th moon, 7th moon. Actually the full moon is always the full moon. It's always present in all these days, but cannot be seen as the full moon. Similarly, even though Vishnu killed all these demons, Krishna was also present in this, with all these expansions. Because he's Purna Chandra, he is the full moon. So he's also present there simultaneously, but he does not reveal himself. Rather, the act of killing demons, his Vishnu expansions do that, but he's always there. Then Garudasana. So Vishnu is always sitting on Garuda. But we see in Vrindavan there's Garud Govind also. As Sridham, he became Garuda and Krishna became Govind and he sat on him. And then Surakula Keli Nidana. His Keli is giving so much pleasure to the dynasty of the demigods. But can the demigods see Krishna's Leela? They cannot. Even the demigoddesses, when Krishna was playing his flute in Venugir, when they saw Krishna's pastimes, they fell unconscious. But they did not even see his pastimes. They saw a semblance, an abhas. And just by seeing the abhas, they became unconscious. So this Surakula is actually the Brajavasis themselves. He's giving them so much pleasure. And then Janaka Sutta, Amala Kamala Dala Lochana Bhava Mochana. So Krishna's eyes are like a spotless lotus flower. And then Tribhuvana Bhavana Nidana. He is the shelter of 3 worlds. But actually the 3 worlds here is Vrindavan itself. Tribhuvan means Vrindavan. Then we say that Janaka Sutta Krita Bhushana. That he is the ornament of Janaka Sutta. So one may say it's like Ramchandra. But we see that even Vrishabhanu Maharaj is also called Janak. Janak means father. And Sutta means who? Vrishabhanu Sutta, Srimati Radhika. So here we say Krishna is like the ornament of Srimati Radhika. No. Janaka Sutta Krita Bhushana. Jita Dushanai. So here say Ramchandra he killed Karadushan. But actually Jita Dushan, Dushan here means again this separation. So Jita Dushana, he is conquering this separation that the Rajavasis feel from him, experience from him. And Samara Shamita Dashakantha. Here who, not just 10-headed Ravan, but all the demons are like these 10-headed Ravans. And Krishna, he killed all of them. And Abhinava Jaladhara Sundara Dhrita Mandarai. So his complexion is like a fresh rain cloud. And here Dhrita Mandar means not just the Mandarachal Parvat, but it's actually Giriraj Govardhan himself. He's lifting Giriraj. There are more esoteric explanations also in relation to Srimati Radhika with this word Mandal. And then Sri Mukha Chandra Chakora. He is the Chakora bird, tasting the beauty of Srimati Radhika's face. So here Radhika is not called Chakori, but Krishna is called Chakor, because he is relishing the beauty of her face. And then it is said, Tava Charane Pranata Vayam Iti Bhavayai. So Vayam is not singular, it's plural. So Jayadeva Goswami says, may we receive darshan of your lotus feet. He's not just praying for himself, but he's praying for everyone. No. And then Kuru Kushalam Pranateshu. Kushal means welfare. Like Kushal Mangal. No. So here what is this topmost welfare that he's praying for? That anyone who does Kirtan, this Kirtan, they'll all become the maidservants of Srimati Radhika. And then Sri Jayadeva Kaveridam Kurute Mudam. Kaveridam Kurute Mudam, again he's playing, may this song bring auspicious to the entire world. He's not praying for his own self. Like Rupa Goswami has also prayed, no? Anarpita Charim Chirat Karunavati Nakalo Samarpayato Munnato Jalarasam Sabakti Shriyam Haripura Tasundara Dhyuti Kadamba Sandipita Sada Hridaya Kandare Spuratuva Sachinandana. He spread that may Sachinandan manifest in the hearts of everyone. So here similarly Jayadeva Goswami is saying, may this Mangal Geet bring auspicious to the entire world. In Mangala Ujjwala Geetam. So what is this Mangala Ujjwala? Again this Ujjwala is this Parakya Bhava. That Krishna himself came as Mahaprabhu to taste this Parakya Bhava of Srimati Radhika, this Ujjwal Parakya Bhava. Then Jaya Jayadeva Hari. So he's praying, oh may all glories to this Hari, this Sri Hari or Srimati Radhika herself. And Jaya Jaya this way. So we sing this Kirtan every day we sing. No, before Mangalarti the Vaishnavas have us sing this Kirtan every day. So therefore, like by the mercy of the Vaishnavas, by the mercy of Srila Gurudev, so many wonderful meanings have been given. And Gurudev has himself published this Gita Govind. And the Vaishnavas gave classes on this Gita Govind for like 2-3 years. No, like some of these chapters, like Snigdha, Madhusudan, Mukta, Madhav. We heard some of these chapters, 2-3 years. So like, how much have we tried to absorb from those classes? From this auspicious Tithi, we can only pray to Sri Jayadeva Goswami that the teachings of Sri Guru and Vaishnavas, they manifest in our hearts, and that one day we can realize these moods in our hearts also. Not just speak of them, but by their mercy we can realize them in our hearts also. Ancha Kalpatarubhesha Kripasindevcha Paritanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha.